Hey, what's up YouTube? Thanks for visiting the Glassbox Aquarius channel, and today we're gonna take down this rack of 8 tanks because it's just been an eyesore of mine. I thought it was what I originally wanted when I first set it up. Before this there was the 55 gallon with the black stand. I took that, got rid of it, and put up this rack of 8, but it is not working out. Got some of my supplies ready, and I'm really hoping that this time goes a little better. I've taken some extra precautions on the temporary tank and making sure nobody's gonna get sucked up into any filters this time, so hopefully no tragedies. I still don't have a 100% plan going on, kind of winging this, but you know, these tanks gotta go. This one here got a crack in it for the longest time. I'm pretty sure I hit it with my elbow at one point trying to get over there, and that tank's done. It's only got my breeding pair of adult Variatus, a couple babies that have been trapped in there, but they're all going to get rehomed into some different tanks. So unfortunately there's not a lot going on in these tanks. Most of these tanks got 1 or 2 fish in them, only because I've lost all the other fish. Unfortunately, everything that was in that 90 gallon for the most part, gone. Some of those other small tanks, you know, all those other plecos have moved outside to the summer tub that I have to deal with because it is getting cold in a lot of the nights up here. So those plecos are going to have to come in at some point. I have sold a bunch of fish out of that tub anyway, so won't be a lot of fish to bring back in. Caught a couple of the plecos that were hanging out. Really going to try to move these into a better display tank than these. I don't even know what they are, 5 gallon, I'm assuming 5.5 gallon tanks. I've almost never get to see these fish anyway, and most of the stuff in the little tank I never see either. Got a whole bunch of these hyphen Variatus, all juveniles, hanging out with some Blue Dream shrimp. I really like the color contrast, so I honestly think I'm going to dump these all into one tank, because the blue and that orange red, really nice contrast, and I think it would look really well. And this is the major problem with this rack system for the most part. You can barely fit your hand through. I did grab the tape measure. This is about 3 inches. You can't even get your arm in there. I mean, it's been so difficult to try to scape any of these or even go ahead and try to catch, you know, fish out of them or do anything with them. When I set this up, I was like trying to pack as many tanks on there as I could because I thought that's what I wanted, and instantly have learned, like, it's a nightmare to scape them. It's a nightmare to catch the fish. It's a nightmare to clean them as well. The electric blue Acara growing out now, looking great. And hopefully I can put them in a bigger tank as well. And right now, really digging into this rack, tearing these tanks down and pulling out the plumbing system as well. Most of it was glued in, so I won't be able to reuse it. At this point too, I don't know what's going to happen with the FX6 that's running the system, because anything that I put back there, probably not going to need it. L204 Emperor Pleco, found him as well. Probably haven't seen him in months, being so small anyway. And this is the new start. I'm going to recycle the rack that I have, or at least part of it, and I'm going to reuse this 15 gallon tank for a new scape. And really happy with the start of it. A couple big pieces of driftwood kind of jumping out of it. Whole bunch of houseplant cuttings that I've had and been growing out in other tanks. Mainly all Anubias, which is pretty cool. I just sold off a bunch of it, probably about 50 pieces of Anubias to my local pet shop, which is kind of cool. And still got plenty of Anubias to use in tons of other tanks, and I think this is becoming my new favorite plant to use and everything. I do have the puffer in that tank for the moment with the L199 and the L204 Pleco. I don't know where the puffer is gonna end up, but I didn't want him down in the 40 breeder with everybody else. So for now, just threw him in this tank, and I am gonna throw in the blue shrimp and the hyphen variatus. I know the puffer is probably gonna go ahead and eat most of those shrimp. It is what it is for the moment. He's gonna be in there, he'll be happy until I get some of the other tanks set up and find him his permanent home. But yeah, once this water, all the junk in the water settles out, I think this tank's gonna look really well. I think it's pretty simple with just the 2 big chunks of driftwood, couple pleco caves, and these nice river stones. Since there aren't a whole lot of plecos in here and I don't have to worry about interbreeding going on in there, I might take some of the standard plecos or the albinos out there and add them in as well. Guys, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for checking it out.